Hello children, in this video we are going to see the long answers of chapter 3 synthetic fibers and plastics. The first question is explain why some fibers are called synthetic. What do we mean by synthetic? Synthetic means something that's artificial or man-made. Therefore our first point of answer is these are man-made fibers prepared by using chemicals. And along with that, our next point would be these are made of small units that join together to form long chains. That is nothing but they are polymers. Some of the examples of synthetic fibers are nylon, rayon, acrylic, polyester, etc. Now the next question is give examples which indicate that nylon fibers are very strong. How strong they are, we already saw that they are as strong as a steel wire. Now here their strength is indicated by a certain usages. The first one is parachutes and ropes of rock climbing are made of nylon because these are the things that are life-saving ones. Therefore usage of nylon in this tells us that they are very strong. Secondly, nylon is used in making seat belts, fishing nets and tie cords. Again, the strength is depicted in these items. Nylon is used in making sports accessories such as rackets. Rackets as in the one we use for shuttlecock and all. So they require strength. That is why another example of strength of nylon. Explain why plastic containers are favored for storing food. This is our next question. Now here we are told that the plastic containers are used for storing food not just in fridge but outside too. Why is it so? The reason is plastics are favored because they are non-reactive. Non-reactive, that means that they do not react with the food items such as lactic acid in curd or citric acid in lemon juice. They don't react with these acids. That is why it is favored for keeping the food intact in them. The next question is to explain differences between thermosetting plastics and thermoplastics. Now thermosetting plastic is something that we have already studied and it cannot be bent once it is molded. Why? Because it has to remain in a certain way. Therefore the changes will not happen. Therefore our first point is cannot be bent. It will break if we attempt to bend thermosetting plastic. Whereas thermoplastics are easily bent. That's our first point of difference. Now second point of difference is on heating thermosetting plastic, it cannot be softened. They melt but they do not soften. It is a reason that it cannot be reshaped once it is molded. Whereas thermoplastic can become some other thing and it can be reshaped. Therefore it is easily recyclable. Hence, the second point of difference is on heating thermosetting plastics, it cannot be softened. This is the reason it cannot be reshaped once it is molded. And whereas thermoplastic is something on heating the thermoplastic, it becomes softened and can be molded and reshaped easily. That's the second point of difference. Now, lastly, we could have examples. Thermosetting plastic, where is it used? It's used in handles of pans, where the heat cannot change its shape and structure. Thermoplastic, we use it in carry bags so that the shape may change according to the item that is put inside it. Now the next question that we are going to study is explain why the following are made of thermosetting plastic. Saucepan handles and electric plug switches and plug boards. Why is it so? First, thermoplastics are used in making saucepan handles because the points in favor of it is that they are bad conductor of heat and on heating thermosetting plastic do not get softened or change shape. Now thermosetting plastics are used in making electric plug switches and plug boards because bakelite, which is used in making these items, is a thermosetting plastic and it is a bad conductor of heat as well as electricity. This property makes it a prime candidate for making electrical items mentioned above. The reason is that they are bad conductors of electricity. That's all their reason is. The next question is, Rana wants to buy shirts for summer. Should he buy cotton shirts or shirts made from synthetic material? Advise Rana, giving your reason. Now here this person Rana wishes to buy shirts and the season mentioned here is summer. Now summer is some season which do not have any coolness in it. It is quite hot. Therefore, he should buy something that would cool down his body. Now he should buy cotton shirts. Reason is because cotton is a good absorber of water, meaning it would absorb the water that is coming out of the body to cool down the body. That is nothing but sweat. So it would soak the sweat and expose it to the environment, and therefore it would help the evaporation of sweat and cools our body as it should naturally do. That is why cotton shirt would be much preferable in keeping the body cooler in summer season. Therefore, the advice that one should give Rana is that he should buy cotton shirts, as they are much better than synthetic material which do not absorb much of a water. The next question that we are going to see is give examples to show that plastics are non-corrosive in nature. Now, non-corrosive is something that is one of the properties of plastic, because they do not react with any chemical, strong or mild, even if they come in direct contact with it. For example, the cleaning chemicals, the acidic things that's kept at home are generally stored in plastic bottles instead of metal containers, because metal container would be reacting with the strong chemical and thereby corrosion happens. This shows that plastic is not just non-corrosive, but it's non-reactive to strong chemicals too. The next question that we are going to see is, should the handle and the bristles of toothbrush be made of same material? Explain your answer. Now here, toothbrush is something that we use every day in the morning as well as in the evening. Now handle and the bristles, if you notice, are made up of different material, though both are plastic, but the texture and the quality is different. Why is it so? Because the handle of the toothbrush is something that we hold in a hand, therefore it can be hard and strong, whereas bristles which touch the gums and teeth has to be soft and flexible so that it reaches every corner of the mouth and does the cleansing purpose that it is supposed to do. Therefore, the handle of the toothbrush and the bristle of the toothbrush must be made up of different material. Though plastic, the texture and the quality would differ. Now the next question that we are going to see is, avoid plastics as far as possible. Comment on this advice. Answer, we should avoid plastics as far as possible because the reason, first one, plastics are non-biodegradable. Now non-biodegradable meaning that they do not easily become one with nature. There is very less decomposition happening in plastic because it is non-reactive and non-corrosive, and therefore what happens is when they are introduced in environment they cause pollution, and when we burn these plastic items they not just release poisonous gases, but they do not easily get mixed with nature again. The plastic bags thrown in the garbage dump are swallowed by animals, choke their respiratory system and cause fatalities in animal. Now here, the plastic bags that are generally put in the garbage dump are eaten by these poor animals, and not just eaten, they are getting stuck in the respiratory system and cause fatalities, that is death in the animal. Therefore, plastic must be used very cautiously and very judiciously. Manufacturing of synthetic fibers is actually helping conservation of forest. Comment on this. Now the reason for synthetic fiber to be so helpful in conservation of forest is because if we use natural fibers, the raw material has to be derived from plants. That means there has to be an area wherein you plant these plants. That generally requires cutting of the trees so that there is a plain ground and you could plant the trees or plant the plants that give us natural fibers. Therefore, it is not something that would help conservation of forest. Hence, these synthetic fibers which are made in factories using chemicals are actually helping in conservation of forests. Now the next question is, describe an activity show that thermoplastic is a poor conductor of electricity. Now here, thermoplastic is something that is poor conductor, we already know that. But to determine whether it actually is a poor conductor, we have to do an activity. Now in this activity we require bulb, batteries, wires, piece of metal and a plastic pipe as shown in the figure that would follow. After setting the experiment, switch on the current. You will observe that the bulb glows in the former case, the case wherein we have metal forming the circuit, whereas the circuit in which thermoplastic is put, there will be no electricity passing because thermoplastic is poor conductor of electricity, as we would see in this figure that is going to come. Now here we see the circuit being completed using a metallic strip. Now in this case what happens is the bulb glows, whereas when the circuit is completed using thermoplastic, the circuit is not completed, hence the bulb will not glow, as thermoplastic is a bad conductor or poor conductor of electricity. Therefore, even though the switch is in on position, we see that the bulb does not glow in the second case because the circuit is not being complete, as thermoplastic is not a good conductor or it's a poor conductor of electricity. Hence, the incomplete circuit makes the bulb not to glow. With that, we come to the end of the question answers. Thank you everyone and have a good day.